Welcome. We come together today to resource ourselves about the upcoming social media ban for under 16s. First, I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land we live on. For me, that's the Kabi Kabi country. We pay our respects to all elders, past, present and emerging, of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander nations. If you are here, you are likely to have some level of involvement and share concern for our young people. Navigating this ban, though technically a delay, will uniquely affect those young people who have previously had access to social media. They now face restrictions, and that means things are going to change for them. And it's important that we acknowledge that they are caught in the crosswaters of change, and we want to support them. Some will be unscathed and some will struggle. By being here, you are resourcing yourself no matter what level of discomfort the young people in your life experience. While this session sits outside of politics and government decision-making, it does help that we inform ourselves about the social media changes, and that seems like a really good place for us to start today. The government rolls out new laws starting 10th of December 2025 to keep young people safer online. This means age-restricted social media platforms will be restricted to people under 16 in Australia. This is to delay access to the risks social media poses for young people's mental health and well-being. We're talking harmful content, violent content, the risks of predators to young people, sending nudes, exposure to sexual content, cyberbullying and excessive use. The delay is designed to give our children and young people time to build greater emotional resilience and social skills to limit risky online behaviour for some of our most vulnerable. It's important to know that under 16s who access social media early aren't breaking the law, and they and their parents won't be penalised. The platforms themselves will face hefty fines if they are found to be negligent, and the law is designed to place the burden of enforcement onto the companies that run these platforms, not the consumers. Age-restricted social media platforms must take reasonable steps to stop people from under 16 creating or accessing an account. This means that affected platforms must identify and remove age-restricted accounts, and that means deleting or deactivating accounts. If young people are concerned about losing content from their accounts, conversations, photos, videos, connections, you can guide them to take steps now to download that data. The list of platforms affected is currently X, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Kik, Threads. If they require an account to access a platform such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, then they will have no access. Limited access may be possible on TikTok, X, Reddit, and YouTube. However, anything that requires account access will be unavailable. All messaging and communication services linked to those apps appear to be restricted too. It is important to consider safe alternatives for online communication, and speaking with your young people now will help ease stress a little later. Sole purpose messaging apps are currently unrestricted. We're looking at WhatsApp and Messenger, and platforms such as Discord, Lego Play, Roblox, Steam, YouTube Kids, GitHub, Google Classroom are not currently affected. The eSafety Commission has resources for parents and carers, educators, young people and kids. Links to those resources are available in the action steps. Okay, that should help us wrap our heads around the basics of the delay. Next, we move on to the more practical steps to support our young people. Structure needs replacing, not ignoring. Let's talk about the role of social media and our young people's lives. Social media keeps us engaged because it adds perceived value to our lives. Things such as providing connection, a source of self-expression, a place to build concepts of identity, belonging to communities, connection to information like news, current events, creative skills, mental health resources, access to role models, self-soothing, and, of course, entertainment. If we are to best support young people during this transition, we should be acknowledging these roles and the potential loss that they feel. Experiencing loss can show up in many different ways, and it might look like frustration, fear of missing out, feeling stressed out, anxious. They might feel like they're being punished, perhaps disempowered, like they have little control over their lives, and like they have disconnected from social, creative, and emotional outlets. We best serve them when we acknowledge their losses, give them mindful space to respectfully feel their emotions, and guide but not take over. Acknowledge that things are going to change and that things will work a little differently. The good news is that we are here to better help them while they navigate these changes. This is a big cultural shift in digital balance. Our young people will be breaking the icebergs of adaptation, and they are more empowered when they take ownership over the change. And it's important that we all lean into our community. This transition takes more than one person to do the heavy lifting. It takes a village. How nice would it be to check in on young people, parents, friends, and neighbours going through this process? Perhaps there are conversations to be had around expectations when our young people are at others' homes. And perhaps most importantly, it's when we make the conscious effort to check in and connect with our young people that relationships experience growth. Far from a problem, this challenge may provide the opportunity for deeper connection with our loved ones. Bridging the gap. So how do we empower our young people to reclaim control over their lives? Let's circle back to the list of things our young people might find beneficial from social media. There is real value in exploring ways to meet those needs and any further that they identify in positive and resourceful ways. We have designed a bridge matrix available for download that directly addresses these gaps. We go further than just listing areas of concern. The bridge matrix is designed to account for the possible slow start for adaptation to new behaviours, more on that soon, by including activity levels that meet our young people where they are at. Essentially, they are building an activity bridge to uncomplicate the murky waters of behaviour and lifestyle change. While they are adapting to new and more purposeful, purpose-led behaviours, old patterns can creep in. Have you heard the term failing to plan is planning to fail? Not on our watch. The bridge matrix addresses motivation. At the start, when internal motivation can be low, external motivation and incentive plays an important role. What do I mean by low motivation? It's time to address the elephant in the room. Dopamine. Dopamine is the brain's messenger of motivation and anticipation of reward rather than reward itself. Frequent spikes dampen our sensitivity to dopamine, and a source of dopamine is being removed, social media. The nervous system experiences a dip. Our young people might experience feeling flat, unmotivated, restless, irritable, foggy, less interested in normal pleasures or activities, and the temptation to replace one quick hit with another. Be prepared. It can take time for their nervous system to rebalance, to learn to produce dopamine without external spikes. We could be looking at 3 weeks to 3 months for them to recalibrate. During this time, it is crucial that we as parents, caregivers, educators and mentors support our young people through consistent routines, physical movement, novelty with purpose, connection and laughter, small goals and progress tracking, and loving boundaries. It's about retraining reward in an intentional way. So we start with baby steps, and as you'll see, the bridge matrix is about taking care of the minutes and letting the hours take care of themselves. And if or when things veer off track, we most empower our young people by celebrating the return rather than punishing the relapse. By including this section on motivation, the bridge matrix incorporates fences. Motivation that helps keep us on track even when it feels hard. The level up. We can view this social media ban as a problem to be fixed or as a challenge to rise to. The secret sauce in the bridge matrix is the level up, an opportunity for our young people to build skills that they otherwise may have lost to time-sucking scrolling. By encouraging our young people to consider a skill, perhaps a long-held dream, it could be a skill they admire in a role model, something they are impressed by, a talent that they wish to possess in the future. The level up is a low-pressure way to incorporate 5 minutes a day working towards something that meaningfully contributes to that skill. As little as 5 minutes per day towards this talent is akin to the power of compound interest, that steady growth over time that rewards persistence and patience. Of course, on days when our young people feel greater levels of motivation, they might choose more time toward their talent. What's important is that they choose the focus. The level up. We can view this social media ban as a problem to be fixed or as a challenge to rise to. The secret sauce in the bridge matrix is the level up, an opportunity for our young people to build skills that they otherwise may have lost to time-sucking scrolling. By encouraging our young people to consider a skill, perhaps a long-held dream, it could be a skill they admire in a role model, something they are impressed by, a talent that they wish to possess in the future. The level up is a low-pressure way to incorporate 5 minutes a day working towards something that meaningfully contributes to that skill. As little as 5 minutes per day towards this talent is akin to the power of compound interest, that steady growth over time that rewards. The lock-in is where motivation, be it external or internal, is combined with goal setting and distilled into something useful. Like ignition, it sparks action. The elements of ignition are answers to the questions of why? Why bother? What's in it for me? What do I get out of this? Very reasonable questions for our young people to be asking, particularly when choosing new behaviours. Stopping a behaviour leaves a void. Changing a behaviour fills that void with intentional growth. So we guide them to set their intentions with a sentence that has strong emotional resonance, reminding them why it's worth the effort. The most effective statements are short, 1 or 2 sentences, focused on the positive. I do, not what I don't. Worded in the present. I am, not I will. Specify goals and achievements. Moving toward my goal of. The roundup. Well done. If all has gone to plan, your young person will have an intentional map to nervous system regulation and personal growth during trying times. By selecting activities from the bridge matrix according to their attention and energy levels, they are taking decision fatigue out of the equation, and your ongoing support and encouragement may just serve to deepen ties during a challenging, but not impossible, time in their lives. I'd like to thank you for showing up here today. As a community, we can guide our young people with compassion and understanding. And who knows, we may even take this opportunity to show the ultimate support and do the journey with them. What I do know right now is that if you download the Bridge Matrix, which you set the price for based on the value that you determine, you will also receive a short hypnotic meditation to supercharge results. And it's true that sometimes our young people aren't accepting of our guidance for whatever reason, and that's okay too. Lena and I have anticipated that a few parents and carers might need some additional support, so we have created a fun 2-hour workshop where young people come to explore the Bridge Matrix, participate in loosely structured social activities, and have some fun. And they leave with a little more confidence in building their dreams. Thank you for taking this journey with us. We look forward to hearing how it's all gone.